Hello, and welcome to another Dokkan battle video. So while I was snoozing, they dropped all the information for the sub EZAs of like the random like Super 17 units, as well as a Part 2 LR Omega Shenron. Now I kind of had a feeling that Omega was going to be the Part 2 LR, mainly because they teased a burst mode for the Omega Shenron Dokkan event in the V-Jump leaks that we saw. Which is kind of crazy to me, because like, why would we get Omega Shenron if we had nothing related to him in the actual, if celebration? I don't know why I'm stumbling here. I just woke up, but that's not important. The point is that we have LR Omega Shenron, and we're just gonna go over his stats. I have read it already, so I'm not gonna lie. I do think he's kind of good. The only thing that I don't like, leader skill, GT bosses category, key plus 3 HP attack and defense 200%. So we know that he is a Carnival LR, right? So this is a Carnival LR Omega Shenron, right? So of course he was going to have a 200% lead. Now if we pull up Omega here, like there really wasn't a whole lot of things that they could have done for him. Like, okay, so let's it's just a generic Omega Shenron, the same Shenron as this one, right? This is his leader skill, or his categories. There's not a whole lot he could have been, right? What I would have liked. Power Absorption is pretty good. Inhuman Deeds could have used it. Shadow Dragon Saga doesn't really need it, but it'd be okay. GT Bosses was kind of expected. Battle of Fate, no. I mean, it could have been an Extreme Battle of Fate lead, which would have been very interesting, and that's a good team. But it's fine, it's whatever. Super attacks. Dragon Thunder raises defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage, and lowers attack with a high chance to stun. Not bad. 18 key. Hellish Dragon Slaying Dance greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes mega colossal damage, lowers attack and defense, and seals super attack. A lot of effects. Very good 18 key. Now, this is actually a really good effect, because if we take a look at his passive here, my cat is screaming because this has nothing to do with Cooler. Activates entrance animation upon character's first attacking turn once only, and changes int key spheres to rainbow for 7 turns. All enemies attack and defense minus 25%. Key plus 3 in attack and defense plus 200%. Attack plus 20% per attack performed, max of 150%. Gain an additional key plus 1 and damage reduction plus 5% per GT bosses category ally on the team. Now that one is kind of mid, right? But we've been getting a lot of decent GT bosses units recently. Hey, remember, this guy's getting his EZA, the Super Baby 2. We just got this guy, right? He's okay. Like, he's not bad at all. Like, he's perfectly fine. Both Cell and Frieza are EZAing, and they seem to actually be kind of alright. This Tech Sin is still rather good. Like, he's very usable. We have Super 17, who, even though is kind of wonky, this is a setup where you can actually make use of him, because again, this is a full extreme class team, so you don't have to worry about that part. You're going to be able to get GT, Nightmare, Fear and Faith, Fierce Battle, Shocking Speed. Like, these are common links. Brutal Beatdown, these are very common links that a lot of the GT characters, like, that are villains, tend to have. So Super 17 will work fine on this team, plus the fact that he needs to be low HP to transform is not going to be a problem, because a lot of the GT bosses can take a lot of damage really quickly, so he's not going to have to worry about like the other android characters that would heal too much for him to like not be able to transform. He's going to be able to do that perfectly fine on here, so I'm not too worried about the team in general. But let's just keep looking at stuff. He also gains an additional 7% damage reduction per rainbow key sphere obtained. So he has the potential of getting what is essentially 6 or 7%, or 6 or 7 times of this 5% buff, which can either be roughly 30 or 35%, depending on if it counts the friend lead. I'm pretty sure it should, so it should be around 35% at max, plus this 7% damage reduction per rainbow key sphere. Of course, he is changing int orbs to rainbow for 7 turns, so you're going to be able to get some of that. Also, I do believe, if I remember correctly, that the Texan is actually a rainbow orb changer, right? Yeah, randomly changes keys for a certain type of rainbow. So yeah, this guy's his perfect partner right here. Which, thinking about that, and then thinking about something else that we'll show in a little bit, you're gonna understand why I think this unit is releasing in a wonky time period, because I feel like this unit was not supposed to come out at this point. And then so you're gonna get a max of like 70% damage reduction. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Very, very strong. If HP is 50% or below at the beginning or of a character's attacking turn, revive with 70% HP if this character or any other character attacking in the same turn is KO'd. Now, that's good. That's a very easy revive. Just be low, he'll revive, right? The problem comes at the end here. When own revival skill is activated, all attacks affect against all types and perform an additional super attack for the rest of battle. Now, the problem with that is specifically own a revival skill, meaning that unlike 23rd World Tournament Goku, where they can prop like their thing from anybody else reviving, this guy's more like Bird Goku, where they themselves have to revive in order to get their effect. And the problem with that is, since this guy is a leader unit, you're gonna run into the same problem that you have with Bird Goku. Now let me see if I can pull him up here. The Bird, right? A major problem with him, like, see, he has, yeah, it's the same kind of wording where their revival skill has to be active. You run into this problem where if you're trying to use them as a leader, one of them is going to revive and the other one will not be able to get that full buff. So it ends up in a situation where you have one insanely powerful version of the LR and then a second version of it who hasn't even gotten the chance to do that, and will never get the chance to do that because you can't pop multiple revives in the same fight. So it's kind of like a weird scenario for him where if you're running him as a lead, it's going to get kind of annoying, but I think it should be fine just because it is a strong revive in general, so we should be okay. It's going to be a little sad that only one Omega is going to be able to revive, but it happens. Can be activated once 3 or more turns have elapsed from the start of battle and targeted enemy is in attack or defense down status, or once 6 or more turns have elapsed from the start of battle. Now that's a very easy condition. I'm not upset with that at all. Typically the first 3 turns are against like a phase where you can do that. Granted, I don't think you would want to do that in that situation, but it is helpful for like Super Battle Road and Battlefield, that kind of thing. Temporarily greatly raises attack and deals ultimate damage to enemy and lowers attack and defense by 30% for 1 turn and nullifies the enemy's action once. Not bad at all. Quite cooking, actually. Now, let's just look at Omega Shenron right now. Like, okay, I'm gonna show you him right here. This is his art. You see it? You see it? He's in a very similar pose to somebody. Now, where have we seen a pose that looks like that before? I don't know. There's some place that we've seen a similar pose to that. Now, who was his best linking partner again? Oh, I'm not sure. If we go through here, what was his best linking partner again? Huh. Strange. Right? Not only does he match the art of Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, but he also works perfectly with the banner unit that came out alongside him. Weird. And then there's another strange thing. We are getting an 8th stage to this event. This released during the 8th anniversary. There is no reason that we couldn't have gotten this Carnival LR then. Literally zero. Kid Buu and Omega could have come out during the 8th anniversary, or this event could have been swapped with a different event. Because though that Gogeta and this Omega have the same art, like similar pose, which is what they like to do with these like fighting events. And now we're getting a new stage, and he works with the banner unit. My cat is screaming because she agrees this is kind of weird. We're just gonna quickly go over these EZAs. None of them are very crazy, but we're just gonna go over them really quickly. EZA Goku GT, leader skill, kind of fodder. Yeah, So let's just go with this real quick. Raises attacking defense for 1 turn, greatly lowers defense. Whatever. It's fine. Attack and defense 100%. Attack plus 180% and defense plus 80% when performing a super attack. High chance of performing a critical hit. Guards all attacks for 3 turns from first appearance. That's all fine. Plus an additional key plus 3 and attacks guaranteed to hit when facing 1 enemy. And if that enemy is a GT boss's category enemy, plus an additional 50% chance to perform a critical hit and high chance of attack plus 100. Kind of strange, kind of weird, but we already know that the strongest fight in the game is a GT boss character, so like, sure. Right, sure. Cell. Now Cell and Frieza, I don't expect a whole lot, but they are seemingly pretty good. Let's just do this. Raises attack and defense for 1 turn, and seals. Keep plus 2 attack and defense 150%. When all allies attacking in the same turn are revenge, GT bosses are sworn enemies category allies, plus an additional attack plus 100% when performing a super attack, and performs an additional super attack. Plus an additional attack plus 100% and attacks effective against all types if the target enemy is stunned. Very, very strange. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Did Goresh post his links and categories? Oh, here we go. Oopsie, I forgot to do this for Omega. Brutal Beatdown, Big Bad Bosses, GT, Fear and Faith, Shadow Dragon, Fierce Battle, Energy Power. Amazing link set. Categories: GT Bosses, Shadow Dragon, Full Power, Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption, Battle of Fate, Transformation Boost, Powerful Comeback. Very, very strong. Anyway, back to the sub EZAs. Yeah, I mean, Cell's fine. Like, Cell's fine. And then Frieza, if you know how these guys are, then you know that they're going to be exactly the same. And that is correct. They are exactly the same, except this guy seals, this guy does the stunning so that he can pop Cell's passive of needing somebody to be sealed or stunned, and then Cell seals so that this guy can get his passive active for an ally or an enemy being sealed. It's very weird. I believe they want it to be one of them first attacks and then the other one gets the passive. It's very odd. I'm not really a huge fan of it, but that's how they were designed way back in the day, so it's going to be how they're still designed. I think that you can completely ignore that final part and they're still going to be like nichely useful on a GT bosses team, especially if they do a triple super. They should be okay defensively, like nothing crazy or anything, but enough to eat a couple normals. So maybe like give them mainly dodge and then some additional and they should be okay. But yeah, they seem fine. All the sub EZAs are just fine. Again, we have not seen LR Baby yet, but we know that he is coming and that he will be EZAing soon. Now that we have this 8th stage of the event, and it was always weird that Sin was the final fight and not Omega. And we know, I guess now we know because they had an Omega in the background and they were not allowed to drop it when the event came out, which is very strange. It's just weird. And then of course we have the burst mode for Omega Shenron that I mentioned earlier, as well as a new Super Battle Road stage for rapid growth. Like it's weird. A lot of things are weird. This is a Baby Saga celebration. We're getting Super 17 and Baby EZAs, and then we get an LR Omega, and then they update the event from the 8th anniversary and have a unit that matches the art of a 7th anniversary character who works with a 7th anniversary character. It doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I feel like if they could have released a Carnival LR during the 7th anniversary, they would have, but they didn't, and that's why we got the Goku and Vegeta. Granted, it was supposed to be about a Goku and Vegeta the entire time, but I'm telling you, I think they should have and could have and wanted to drop this Omega during the 8th or the 7th anniversary, and they were not allowed to. That is my theory here, because it just doesn't make sense. And then of course we have the Shadow Dragon one that gave us a Shadow Dragon support memory that we weren't able to use, and now that we have one and he works well with this, why are we getting another stage? Obviously it's for another event, but what is the reward going to be? There's so many questions that we're not going to get answered for probably a while, but just let me know if you guys are excited for LR Omega. I know I am personally. He does seem like he's going to be rather good. His stats are insanely high, so let me know how you guys feel about him in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.